The situation in the United States with the economy is really bad, and no one want to talk about it. Here we want to talk about how things are going for multiple people from multiple states. So stay towards the end because this is going to be really interesting. Please make sure that you drop a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.
Video after video after video talking about people talking about going into foreclosure, eviction notices, living paycheck to paycheck, and same. Yep, we are living paycheck to paycheck. And I got to thinking, I remember 14 years ago when my daughter was born, I had no money pretty much. I mean, I was working as a waitress, I was young, I was a freshman in college, thinking if I made this much money, I would be living stress-free. I do make that much money now. In fact, I make more money than that. I make good money. My husband makes good money. And we are living paycheck to paycheck. Just over the last 5 years, our car insurance has doubled, almost tripled, and no, we don't have any new tickets, no car accidents, nothing. Our phone bill has doubled, and I've paid off pretty much all of our phones. Still keeps going up. Our mortgage has gone up $600-700 since we bought our house 5 years ago, just from an increase in homeowners insurance and property taxes. Our medical insurance has gone up, more money is being taken out of our paychecks or whatever. Grocery bills, can't even fathom how much more it's gone up, at least $600 a month. Like, this blows my mind. Like, we worked our way from the bottom to have like these really nice careers, thinking like, oh, this is it, like we finally made it, and we are still living paycheck to paycheck, like, and barely making it, literally stressing out about finances all the time. If this was 20 years ago, we probably would have been considered upper class, or I know we would have been considered upper class, and now we are literally barely hanging on. Like, it blows my mind, and I don't understand how this is okay in any way. And all I can picture is like these billionaires sitting up in their like little offices and just like laughing about how poor we are. I don't know. I'm so mad and frustrated. And after seeing so many videos of people losing their houses and apartments and cars, and like, how is this okay? How is this okay? And the government, everyone's just like, yeah, it's cool. Well, we're millionaires. It's fine.
Y'all, I got my property tax bill today. I know you fucking lying. This shit is highway robbery. I bought my house back in 2022. When I bought my house, it was a little over $6,000. Then less than 2 years, my property taxes went up to over $10,000. Now I get a bill today. It done went up another $8,080.10. I know you fucking lying. They don't want us to own shit. Matter of fact, we never do. We never own shit, because whether your house is paid for in full, if you do not pay your property taxes, you could lose your home. And they say this is the American dream, to be a homeowner. I mean, look at this shit. And then they tried to, hold on, y'all, let me show. Then I qualified for the homeowners exemption, right? So what they did was, they took it up to $13,443. They took the homeowners exemption up $2,274.48. Look. $11,169 for this year's property tax. Hold on, let me just stroll up just a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's do the comparison. Look at this shit. Property taxes was just $10,089. Y'all, they taxing the fuck out of me for no goddamn reason. Like, I mean, anybody can relate to what the fuck I'm saying right now? Because what the fuck is going on? Like, and then we got Orange Face. He's signing everything else but making these goddamn property taxes go to fuck. Sign an executive order for that shit. The fuck?
I feel like we are not panicking with how quickly and how steeply this economy is going to crash and diseases are going to run rampant. Like, I still cannot believe that tap to pay works. We have this entire credit system, this entire economy is built on buy now, pay later, buy now, pay later, buy now, pay later. And at first it's designed as a good thing. It's people want to get a house which they can't afford with the money that they earn from their drugstore, so the bank will give them a small loan with a small interest rate, and they'll pay it back over time, and everything will kind of square away. And now we've turned everything into that. That's why this is going to be so much worse than 2008, because 2008 was only housing. That's the crazy thing. We talk about how 2008 hit all of these different sectors of the economy, but it's just because housing went down. It was because these banks and these subprime mortgage-backed securities that people, the entire thing, they were just giving out bad loans to people who would never ever pay them back. So they're giving 5 loans to somebody who makes $20 an hour for 5 different houses. That's the Big Short. That's the entire thing. Now that's everything. Now that's the entire economy is built on that. And that's what's so crazy when you think about how far this is going to crash. Like, boomers are still saying, we know a recession is coming, but you got to keep your money in the market, because like when the market returns, and it always does, you're going to want to get those gains. You want a dollar cost average, but it doesn't work if there's no money. We're now at the point of you can finance your food. Like, people are so poor that you can actually finance your food. We went from being able to finance a house to financing a burrito. That's insane. Just from a purely economic standpoint, forget the moral issues of everybody should have food as a human right. We're so far past that. The unemployment rate is 4.2% or 4.9%. Like, give me a break. 96% of people are employed. And that's not even to mention, like, adequately employed. Like, if you wanted to look at a real unemployment measure, you would look at, like, how adequately employed people are for their skill set and knowledge base. There's no chance that 96% of people are employed right now. When I have, most of my college friends are either vastly underemployed or unemployed now. So that number is just completely wrong.
I don't think you guys are going to be ready for me to tell you how much I just spent on groceries and show you what I got. Here, wait, let me show you what I got, okay? Sour cream, salsa, cheddar cheese, turkey bacon, taco shells, 2 bags of tortilla chips, because they were like, buy one get one 50% off, okay? So there's some deals in here. 2 things of salsa packets, these are like $1 each. Sourdough bread, tortillas, a frozen thing of riced cauliflower, baby spinach, and kind protein bars, okay? This is it right here. Let me flip the camera around. This is what I bought. Right here. Okay? This is it. This cost me $75. Oh, and I had $2 off because I'm a frequent shopper. Yep.
You know what's crazy? I'm paying $2,300 to live in my house that I own with my husband a month. And we just got a letter saying that we, starting November 1st, are going to owe $330 more a month because of property taxes. So for our almost 1,800 square foot house, we're going to be owing $2,600 a month. It's absolutely insane.
I don't know where to go anymore. I have no home. I don't even know where to go anymore. All I keep doing is driving back and forth on highways. We spend all our time in the car. I can't even cook for him anymore because it's getting colder outside. I try to do my best, but where am I going? I'm either driving to a friend's cabin, which is 3 hours away, or I'm driving to a campground, which is $38 a night and has a shower. Either way, I'm spending money. Inconvenience. This is inconvenience. They evicted me. I was just starting a new business. Hoping to build a financial future, and now all that debt I'm carrying with me too. Crazy. City of St. John's.
And things are getting worse by the day. Here is a graph of Trump, because Trump, our president, said there is no inflation in America. And Americans strongly disagree. Only 21% of American people approve the handling of the economy by Donald Trump. 46% of the American population strongly disagree with Trump in he handling the economy. So with inflation rising up and not being a solution, an apparently solution to the problem, the situation is gonna get worse. So we need to prepare for what is coming. So stay towards the end, because I'm gonna give you my opinion how you can get prepared for you can be bulletproof to the inflation and to the financial situation that we are about to live in this country.
We are living in a retirement nightmare right now with so many people facing homelessness. You know, when I grew up, seeing your parents, and then for me working decades, you think retirement is a time of peace and quiet. You're rewarded for all your hard work. And for so many, it has become a complete nightmare. It's not like that anymore, unfortunately. There are so many people right now that are one rent, one medical bill, and one bad month of being homeless out on the streets. That's very sad. But that, unfortunately, is the reality that we are living in right now. I grew up believing that after working really hard for years and everything would be fine. You know, you're putting into your 401k. You know, if you're fortunate enough to have a 401k, I worked for only one company that had a 401k, so I really didn't have a whole lot in a 401k. I was fortunate enough to have a pension, not a large one by any means, but I just saved for my retirement. That's what I had to do. So that's what we're thinking, that everything was great. You know, a lot of people get that when you retire, people are taking all these beautiful vacations and they're walking through the sand on a beach with their margaritas. For the most part, most people aren't doing that. Most people wish they could do that, but most people are not doing that. And so many people right now are having a hard time with the housing costs, the groceries, the insurance. We're being taxed to death. So you're going to see people that are not always going to tell you how bad they're struggling. I get it. They're proud. I get that. They're embarrassed as to where they're at in life. They're going to feel like they failed. They didn't do enough to prepare themselves. I didn't always do enough to prepare myself. But you're going to find people sleeping in cars. You're going to find people staying with other family members or going from place to place. Can you imagine being in your 60s and 70s and you're not sure if you're going to have a home to go home to next month? I can't imagine that. I am very blessed that I have a home, and maybe I bought at the right time. I don't know, but it's affordable. I feel thankful that I'm where I'm at, but I feel so bad for some of these people that are one rent away from losing everything. I get that. But I've never been in their shoes. So, but I don't want people to blame themselves because it's not your fault. The system isn't built to protect us. in today's world. It's just not.
I just want to know if anybody else's insurance is as crazy as mine is. I just got my renewal for the coming year, and my auto policy is up another $500, and my homeowner's is up $800. I'm just supposed to magically find an extra $1,300 laying around? This is really freaking ridiculous. Like, how are people living anymore?
$302,325 is currently the amount of debt that we owe. That is such a huge number to have to say out loud. It's super scary. This is the number we'll be going into 2026 with. Unfortunately, we started out too late. With the holiday months coming up, I see very little money being applied to that number, although I will give it my best effort. But yeah, that's the number we're looking to head into 2026 with. So let's get into the numbers real quick. We have $166,850 currently in student loans. We have 2 student loans. One is mine, and then one is a Parent Plus loan. About $99,000 is the Parent Plus loan. We have about $112,485 for our mortgage. $10,522 for a car payment. It's just one car. $6,042 in credit cards, $3,022 in personal loans, and then $3,404 in medical miscellaneous debts. So there we are. Those are the numbers we are working with, and we are gonna try every side hustle possible to dig our way out in 2026.
I have 3 jobs and I'm still struggling. I am a teacher. I tutor after school. I just got through with one of my tutoring sessions actually, and I also make content. I have 1 full-time job with full benefits and then 2 part-time / contract jobs, and I am still struggling. The solution is not to get a 4th job. There's something wrong with this world. Something has got to give to where we live in a world where people can work multiple jobs and they're still struggling. What does that say? Like, the solution isn't you need another job or you're just lazy and you don't want to work. We're working multiple jobs. What more do we have to do in order to live comfortably in this world? I think it's ridiculous.
Here's the situation that my family and I are in. My husband is a government employee and he works for the state police. He also owns his own computer business and he gets about 15 hours a week. He also bartends when it's available, but right now in our town, the bar is very dead. It's not busy like it is in the summer times. I stay home with our 3 children because daycare is $1,000 a month for 3 kids. So my husband at the police, before taxes are taken out, makes $3,600 a month. We paid for daycare. That would be more than what he makes at the police. I cannot find a job that would cover that kind of financial burden. I just made a grocery pickup order and we do get EBT. We get $119 a month. And so we use the last little bit of EBT that we have to pay for the food that will probably last our family for the next week. On top of that, our car insurance went from $298 to $540 a month. Our property taxes increased, and so that means our mortgage increased. Inflation is incredibly high. Grocery prices are incredibly high. And gas prices are incredibly high. I texted him today and I said, I don't know how we're going to pay our insurance, which is $540 a month. I don't know how we are going to pay for our phone bill because that is $300 a month and we do not have brand new phones. We do not have a payment plan. That's just how expensive it is to have two phone lines at AT&T. Our electric bill is $220, also due at the end of the month. And right now we have $230 in our checking account. And what we needed for food was not covered fully by UET, so I had to pay $89 out of pocket to get the rest of the food that we need. This can only last us about a week and a half. My husband works 3 jobs. I stay home to prevent daycare costs because I would be working to pay somebody else to take care of our children. This is the America that we live in. My husband's a government employee and only makes $42,000 a year. And I don't know where you live, but that's a really hard living to live on. So before you say that people sit on their ass and you have to pay for it, just remember you're only getting about $36 a year taken out of your check for somebody to receive EBT. And we're not making it. Not even a little bit.
Should I rant about San Diego for a second? I was raised here for a majority of my life. My entire family lives here, lived here for generations. And the way that locals are getting priced out is just something that needs to really be talked about more on a very serious level. It is just absolutely insane, the price of everything now and how much higher it has gone and how much the quality has gone down. Like everything. Don't even get me started on SDG&E. SDG&E and I have beef. Tell me why my delivery fee is the same price, if not more, than what my electric generation is. And I don't have AC. Like, I really don't use a lot of electricity at all. Why is my bill almost $400 every month? I don't know. I had someone come out here and look, and guess what? They charged me to have someone come out here and look. They found nothing. They're like, that's just normal. No, it's fucking not. Traffic. Why does traffic start at 2 p.m. and why does it go till 7? Good luck getting anywhere. It's like you're almost imprisoned in your house between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then if you want to go out after that, you better wait till after traffic after 7 p.m. Going out to eat. Prices have skyrocketed. Absolutely skyrocketed, which I get, like servers and stuff and like these businesses have to stay open, but it's gotten to the point where it's like I can't even go out and eat anymore. It's just so much money. And the quality has like significantly decreased. It's just like not even worth it at this point. Groceries here, absolutely ridiculous. And I like try and go to grocery outlet, or I try and go to Costco when I can and get what I can. But I mean, sometimes you have to just go to the other, like the Vons or the Ralphs, and it's just ridiculous how much they're charging. And then don't get me started on like gas, $5 a gallon, absolutely ridiculous. Rent. I live in a house, I've lived here for almost 6 years, so I'm very grateful that I have this price that I've been paying for almost 6 years, which is like unheard of. But if I were to pay the price that I'm paying now, if I had to go move, I'd be living in a studio or a 1-bedroom apartment. It's just absolutely ridiculous how much everything is. And I said, I grew up here. I know San Diego's always been expensive. Like, it's always been really pricey. I get that, but it's just to a point now where it's like, you cannot sustain living here. My parents had a house in Escondido when I was growing up, and it was a very nice house. They were blue collar workers, both of them were. Tell me why the mortgage was less than what I'm paying now for my house. That is a third of the size in a way less nice area. Tell me why. Jobs now in San Diego, they still think that like, oh, you're living in San Diego, you'll take the pay cut to live here. Okay, and that's just not sustainable anymore. That's just not. Like, my boyfriend does blue collar work. Tell me why, if he was looking for a new job right now, he was seeing jobs starting at $20 to $23 an hour in San Diego. That needs like experience. Like, it wasn't just like starting, like that was like with jobs that need 5+ years experience. It is absolute insanity.
If you work in corporate, I hate to break it to you, but they don't care about you. I was laid off 2 days after I was given a $10,000 raise, And also I was working on this big project that we were soon to be launching. And also I was close with my boss. He told me, your job is safe. Nothing's going to happen to you. And it did. No matter what they tell you, no matter the amount of money they give you, they can let you go at any time. And it is a terrible thing that they can do that. I could never do that to somebody. Don't get me started on the friendships at work. Your friendships, people that I thought I was so close with, people that I've traveled with, people that I thought were some of my best friends, haven't even called to reach out, nothing. So don't put your blood, sweat, and tears into a company, into people that just aren't going to care. They don't care.
If you are a healthcare worker, you need to get your affairs in order right now. Like right now. And let me tell you why. We have watched federal employees lose their jobs over the last 10 months. This is hundreds of thousands of people. People who we would have never thought would have lost their job. Like, everybody knows in the federal government, that's like a lifelong career. They have lost their jobs by the hundreds of thousands. We have watched the tech industry where thousands of people have lost their jobs. We are currently watching a ton of people who work at the airport and the airlines be furloughed. This is not a joke. Once the Medicare or Medicaid cuts start next year, I fear that healthcare workers will be next. They will be reducing costs by any measure, and that means firing us, nurses, doctors, PAs, MPs, CNAs, all of us. If you don't have a 3 to 6 month emergency fund saved, I would recommend doing it now. If you can work the overtime right now, do it now. If you can pay down your debt right now, pay it off. And listen, I know we all need a vacation, but this is not the time. This is not the time. Like, it's time to lock in. Over the next 3 years, we honestly are gonna have to lock in.
They're laying off the recruiters. They are laying off the recruiters. And if you're not a recruiter like me, and you're not living and breathing on LinkedIn, you're probably not seeing this. But the majority of people that I'm seeing recently laid off are the recruiters. And you know what that means? That means they're not hiring. We're not hiring. And they are going to tell you that it's because this work is being replaced by AI, but we are not there yet. Not collectively. We still need recruiters, and they're being laid off in massive numbers. And I have not seen this since 2008, when things were really bad. I made a video about this several months ago. I saw this coming, but this is a 5-alarm fire. They are not hiring. They are firing recruiters. That is a very bad sign. Bye.
I am so sick of looking for a job in the United States during late stage capitalism. I have applied to dozens of jobs in all different types of industries, and I have heard back from one company. I had a 2.5-hour interview with them, and they said, we would love to hire you. It was a bartending position. It was a privately owned business. They said, we would love to hire you. I'm going to contact you in a few days with your start date, and we'll have a meeting with the other employees. It'll be great. That was 10 days ago. I have not heard a thing. And the thing is, I shouldn't have to reach back out to them. I already had to reach back out to them multiple times while scheduling the interview itself because they dropped the ball. I shouldn't have to babysit the people who are going to employ me. And you know what? An overwhelming majority of the jobs that I applied to weren't even real jobs. They were just fishing for information. There was another bartending job I applied to a chain steakhouse. I'm not going to say which one, but it's a pretty easy guess. I applied 2 weeks ago. I saw that same job ad reposted today, so I called them and I said, hey, I applied 2 weeks ago and I haven't heard anything. Just wanted to see what's going on. She said, oh, and I quote, we don't really hire bartenders off the street. Okay. She said, our corporate office puts those ads out just in case. Okay. Then she said, go back in and apply as a server and you'll be sure to get a phone call from us. A phone call from the manager. That's you. We're speaking right now. Why don't you set up an interview with me now? No. I can't see your application that you already put in, the bartending resume, I can't see it. Then where the did it go?
I am likely going to get in some trouble for this, but I'm going to go ahead and say this anyway. I caught a clip today from one of my favorite podcasts. I'll link them in the comments. They were chatting with a gentleman named John Lee, and he dropped a bomb. He called the return to office push a quiet layoff. Are you effing kidding me? That hit so hard. I mean, think about it. Think about it for a second. During COVID, many companies massively overhired. Now, instead of cutting loose the talent, they're quietly pressuring people back into offices under the guise of restoring culture. Here's the real kicker. 73% of companies will require employees to be back in the office 3 or more days a week by the end of 2025. That's nearly 3/4 of businesses turning attendance into a subtle form of downsizing with no official layoffs. Meanwhile, employees are reminded that remote, which, by the way, consistently drives up retention and productivity, is on its way out. Companies are reclaiming control of bodies, not necessarily delivering value. It's a strategic squeeze, not a refocus. This isn't about boosting performance. It's about trimming staff without triggering an HR mess. And if you're hearing more chatter about, we're an in-office culture, then talking about your compensation, that, my friend, could be your warning. So if your company insists you're back 5 days a week, or they're dangling incentives for FaceTime, pause and ask, is this a culture reboot or a quiet exit strategy?
With the financial situation in this country, it apparently not being any solution, it is time that it's not time to procrastinate, it's time to take another job, second job, third job, fourth job. If you can get any other opportunity to work or to earn some income, just take it, okay? This is the time that it is not time to procrastinate. It is not time to take vacation if you can afford it. Try to pack or put money away the most that you can. And it's not a time to carry debts. And if you have any kind of debts in the next 2 years, it's just a time to pay off those debts. Yes, I know that it's difficult. I know that what I'm saying is not easy, but make a plan to do these things, okay? If you plan little by little, you can get rid of those debts. I do myself have some debts that I need to pay off, so this plan is gonna apply for me too. I'm gonna try to be paying the lowest debts first, and then I'm gonna be paying the bigger accounts in my in the things that I had debts for. Okay, any kind of bill that you can save some money, this is the time to reduce certain things, and just learn how to have fun without money. Okay, this is important, to have fun without money, and just try to entertain yourself without spending any money, okay? If you need to apply for any kind of government program, this is the time to apply for any kind of government program that you can qualify, that also can help your economy. Okay, so thank you so much for staying towards the end of this video. Please help us to support my channel, subscribing to my channel, giving a like to this video, share this video with any person that you know. Okay, help me to grow this channel. Thank you so much for everything. You guys take care. Bye bye.